The square is like fire. You know, you put on the fire, and if you don't measure up, you're going to fall into the fire. You're fuel for the fire, right? And Imam said in his ayah Quran, he says, save yourself and your family from the fire. This is the time of choice. Imam Deen Mohammed taught us for 33 years. We're his students, right? And the Holy Quran said, don't you think you're going to be tested? This is the time of being tested. And what is amazing about the believers here in Chicago is that you were witnesses of what happened when Imam Muhammad came in 1975. He was born by himself. Just like Farad Muhammad said he came to North America by himself, Imam Deen Muhammad came out of the Nation of Islam by himself. And then he saved all he could and brought them out, and they stayed with him. In the Bible it says that many will be taken and some will be left, right? That's right. So you were able to look around and saw who was with Imam Deen Muhammad. The rest of them was taken. And in this day and time, I mean, Imam passed. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed. Imam Deen Muhammad passed. Don't you think history repeats itself? That's right. So then you have to look around and realize Imam prepared us for 33 years for what would happen after his death. Yeah. So then you got to look around. He said that his ministry would never die. That's right. The Mosque is the business name of the legal name, Ministry of Imam Deen Muhammad. So here's people come up here and talk about royalty. Oh, you can't have no royalty. Royalty is a governmental system that was set up by corrupt people. That's royalty. That's right. But when it comes to family, look in the Holy Quran. Abraham and his son built the house, right? So when Abraham died, who maintained the house? That's right. Right? So you look at the Kaaba, the black stone. That's our clear Qibla. That's our direction. And the direction over here, you got to look at and see a model, a living model of the Kaaba, the Qibla, that was established by Imam Deen Muhammad. When I say established by Imam Deen Muhammad, they have the traditions and so forth over there in the Kaaba, which we look as a sign. It is a sign of what is alive here in America. So if you want to look for the Kaaba, the living Kaaba is right here with the ministry of Imam Deen Muhammad. So you look at it. Abraham, he had Ishmael, he had Isaac. Abraham, he prayed, he said, in the Bible it says, Abraham was the father of nations, right? He represented the patriarch. Now Abraham in the Quran, Abraham was called the father, and Imam Muhammad, he qualified it from the Quran when he said that Abraham prayed that he would make imams out of his progeny, out of his children. Think about that. That term imam is in the Quran. What was it before that? It represents leaders. So Imam Deen Muhammad, in conclusion, Imam Deen Muhammad, he said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it was taught for a long time that Imam Deen Muhammad was born for the mission. They went through all how it was written behind the door or on the door who Imam Deen Muhammad was. But in the latter years, within the last 10 years or 15 years, he told the people there's no other leaders coming after him. Why did he do that? Because they would have killed him and killed the future leader. And you know, one of the main things as a witness and as a student of Imam Deen Muhammad in his classes, you know what he was battling in his last 10 to 15 years? Was people were saying who's going to be the next leader. And they were positioning people to be the next leader of the community. And Imam Deen Muhammad named people who was making those moves. So here in this day and time, after Imam Deen Muhammad passed away in 2008, don't you think that same movement is going on? That's right. And some of them is going to be taken, and some of them is going to be read here, right? That's right. The Mosque Ministry of Deen Muhammad is working with the students of Imam Deen Muhammad. The first Sunday was geared for the students of Imam Deen Muhammad. It was not for imams, it was not for businessmen, it was not for anybody else, but the students of Imam Deen Muhammad. Am I right? And so his students, they listened to the word. And what's so beautiful about the ones here in Chicago, you got experience. So you can look around and you say, where is everybody? And then if you look at a picture and somebody's leaving left out of the picture, why is he left out of the picture? Some will be taken and some will not be taken. So with that, what I just do, before I want to mention one more thing. This is totally off the subject. How many people is barbers here? Barbers, cut hair. How many people actually got a business as a barber? Actually got a business as a barber. Can I stand up? Those who have a business as a barber. We got two barbers here, right? These barbers should, they're part, and they come out first Sundays. They should not suffer from business. We should support those barbers. I'm just giving you one example. Same way with everybody else with these businesses. We should support these people. So with that, I just did a brief introduction of Wallace. I had to mention one more point, and I'll bring W.D. Mohammed is taken up. When a person conducts Juma, or a person quotes the Quran, they're in the office of Prophet Muhammad. So in Juma, when you see the person who's doing Juma and leading prayer, he is in the office of Prophet Muhammad. When you lead your prayer, whether male or female, if it's just female and you don't have anybody that can lead you in the male that leads your prayer, you are representing the office of Prophet Muhammad. And the best living example of Prophet Muhammad that we know was Imam W.D. Muhammad. So anyone that comes before you and speak and using the language of Imam W.D. Muhammad and say they follow the language of Imam W.D. Muhammad and they support his ministry, which is his language, then they are in the office of Imam W.D. Muhammad. Imam W.D. Muhammad appointed Wallace W.D. Muhammad II as the president of the ministry of the W.D. Muhammad and the president of the publication the publication. Assalamu alaikum.